Good morning. And following on from my video yesterday talking about the Xbox Series X and all the extra information and detail we got from Phil Spencer about what we can expect from the machine, I got to thinking about the PlayStation 5. And the reality is that we haven't seen a lot of information about the PlayStation 5 since the tail end of last year, when Mark's Sony actually did drop some information. And we've heard about the fact that it's going to be Zen 2 architecture just like the Xbox, and it's going to have hardware ray tracing just like the Xbox. And we've also heard that it's going to have an SSD, which is going to make loading times far lower or far slower than on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. So there are some bits of information that are out there, but not an awful lot. And that has led the internet to speculate. And I've seen people talking about the PlayStation being up to 13.3 teraflops and all that kind of stuff. But as I say, the actual information coming from reliable sources is few and far between. We did get Jim Ryan saying that the best is yet to come, and we've heard more about that this week. And if I go into an article from who is it from? T3. There's an article from T3, and it's by Shabina Arif, and she talks about just this. She says Sony's PS5 next-gen video game console is still shrouded in mystery, as I just said. Although we do know it's going to be a beast of a machine, just like the Xbox Series X. Both consoles will support ray tracing, 8K graphics, yeah, right. And with its SSD, the PlayStation 5 is set to perform much faster than the PlayStation 4. Well, yeah, duh, hopefully. But there are features that we are still unaware of that has people in the know excited. And yeah, she goes on to say, just last month, Sony boss Jim Ryan teased a number of unique elements. And yeah, indeed he did. He said, as I say, the best is yet to come. But what are these elements? Are they going to be similar things to what we're expecting from the Xbox and what we now know we're going to get from the Xbox? Or are there some other things that they've got that are unique to the PlayStation 5 that we haven't heard about yet, either from the PlayStation or the Xbox? So, I don't know. I am a little bit concerned, though, because there was a patent that came out from Sony. Now, obviously, patents aren't things that necessarily lead to anything. But this patent actually did get me quite worried. And so, I don't know, Jim Ryan's talking about these are exciting things and the best is yet to come. But are these things that are best for gamers, or are they things that are best for developers in terms of the money they can make? Because we have heard from Sony that they haven't really exploited the full potential of money making with their games. And we do know, Sony have been the kind of leading light, if you like, of the way to do things in terms of producing a game that you can play and then giving us some DLC down the line. They haven't gone all in on monetization or games as service like Microsoft have. And if I go in and I show you what I'm talking about here, this is what I'm concerned about. And it's a patent from Sony. And this is the first screen we've got here, and it doesn't really show a great deal. But if we get a little bit further along, the second screen starts to get interesting. And it says here, hey PlayStation, how do I defeat the boss? And it says 80% of players like you defeated the boss using resource X. And if we go in a little bit further, let me see. If we look here, we've got machine learning module. And that doesn't give us a great deal of information as to what we're heading for here. But then we go along a little bit further and it starts to get very interesting. It says players who used resource E were successful on their first attempt 80% of the time and defeated boss X in about 1 minute on average. So what we're looking at here is similar to the patents we got from Activision, where a gamer is playing a game and the game suggests to them that this resource has been used by other gamers in order to be able to, advance through the game. And you know where this is going, don't you? Monetization. What they're going to do, or what they might do, is have a situation where you're playing the game and then you get these little screens popping up saying, oh, you can get this resource. And we all know what that means. It means microtransactions. So you could be playing the game and a screen pops up and offers you a microtransaction. Oh, you can get through this faster. And if we go in, it's, we can see here what's going on. And more stuff. It says here, look, chest armor for game 1, potion for game 2. You are 50% more likely to complete stage 2. And then it shows actual money. Players using this armor reduce damage taken by an average of 100 points while battling boss X. $1.50. 50 cents. And there's more. And it goes on. And we can see here this patent. Some of this stuff I don't understand what's going on. But these are the pertinent bits here. The stuff about the player who used resource E. And then this stuff here. Launch pad for game 3 and so on and so forth. And what's concerning about this is that this is something that Sony are talking about implementing. And they're talking about implementing it on a console-wide basis. So presumably they would make this available to anybody who was porting games to their system. And if they did that, then you could end up with a system-wide, system if you like, if you excuse the way of saying it, a way of doing this system-wide. So it didn't matter what game you're playing, you could have these offers within the game. All the developer has to do is implement it, much like we've got now with Gamerscore. So instead of just having a Gamerscore, you could have these monetizations offered as well. So, you see now, you get on the Xbox and the PlayStation, it pops up and tells you that you've successfully completed this element of the game. And you get trophies and stuff like that. Well, if you can imagine with this implements this in a similar way to trophies, but instead of popping up and saying you've successfully got a trophy, it'll pop up and say, oh, if you want to finish this because you're having a hard time finishing it or you haven't got through it yet, you can buy this resource. And I have real problems with this, both in the sense that, I've got a problem with microtransactions and anything like this that comes into the game and is basically encouraging developers to make their games more grindy. But I've also got a problem with it in terms of actual gameplay as well. If you're in the middle of the game and stuff pops up and takes you out of the immersion within the game, then I'm not going to like it. And as I say, if this is going to be a system-wide thing that Sony do, and look, I have to stress again, this is only a patent. They've not done this yet. But if this does become something that they do with the PlayStation 5 or maybe moving forward with the PlayStation 6 or whatever comes next, then this is not something that I am at all interested in. And it saddens me that Sony are even looking at this because, as I said before, Sony have been the company that have been the holdout against this stuff. If you look at games like Horizon Zero Dawn and games like God of War, they haven't got any of this crap in them. And that's what's made them grow. Well, it's not the only thing that's made them great games, but it's one of the elements that's made them great games. And so, I don't know, this worries me. And I if I'm being honest, I don't think that that's what Jim Ryan was talking about. But it could be. It could be that this is what they're looking at, and it could be that this is what Sony are trying to do. And if that happens, I don't know, I give up. Because the PlayStation will stop being the place where they have unique games that sell me on the system. Because if they start sticking microtransactions in every game, and every single game has these pop-ups offering you to spend $1.50 or $2.50 or $1.99 or 50 cents, and they keep happening here and there and everywhere. Nah, I'm sorry, but I'm not interested. But anyway, look, this may not happen. I keep stressing that, but this may not happen. It's just a patent at this stage. But what do you guys think? What do you think we are going to see from PlayStation? Do you think we might see something like this, or do you think these the best is yet to come that Jim Ryan is hinting at could be something entirely different? Or could we see both? Could there be some great things coming for the PlayStation 5 that we haven't seen yet? And could this also be happening? Oh God, I hope not. I really do. I really hope we aren't going to be seeing something like this. Because if we are, well, all bets are off. But anyway, that's me done. I'm going to go and grab a cup of tea, and I will speak to you guys in the next one. Bye.